Hi, my name is Warner Chavez, and today we're going to go over the second in a series of 3 videos of the most underrated features in SQL Server 2014. The feature for today is new partition operations. Okay, so what are these new partition operations in SQL 2014? First one is online index rebuild on a partition level. Second one is we now have incremental statistics objects. So what does that mean? So when you have a partition table, as we know, they're composed of different partitions that together go over a whole. Now, before in SQL 2012, SQL 2008, when we wanted to do an online index rebuild or any of the indexes that were in the partition table, we had to basically do it on the entire partition set. 2014 now implements online index rebuild on a partition level. Now, why is that a big deal? It's a big deal because partition tables are usually the biggest ones in our databases. And for many clients, it was really hard to find maintenance windows that were big enough to actually rebuild the entire set when they had fragmentation issues. Now, incremental stats is the second new partition operation. Why is that a big deal? Because before, in 2012, 2008, 2005, when we had a partition table, the statistics always had to go through the entire partition set to create the histogram. Now in 2014, there's a new syntax. We can create statistics with incremental equals on, and we can update statistics with incremental equals on. What does that mean? It means that, let's say we have our statistics object, but we've loaded a new table into the partition table. Before, we wanted to reflect these changes into the histogram, we had to go over the entire set. Now, we have this object, we can just update stats on the latest partition, and SQL Server will merge both results into one statistics object. So when should we use these new features? Basically, this is the new way to do online index rebuilds for partition tables. There is no reason why we should do it the other way when it was doing the entire partition table. The new way is way more efficient, way better, easier to do with your maintenance windows as well. For example, you can do an online index rebuild of maybe the last 3 partitions if you've detected some indexing fragmentations there. When should we use incremental stats? It's the same thing. There's no reason to use the older stats that only worked with the entire partition table. The new way to do it is to go with incremental stats so you can also do your maintenance on a per partition level. The other thing we have to think about is that the partition tables as well as the new incremental stats just have a new syntax, so you should go on Books Online and check it out. We can do an alter index with partition online now, and there's a new syntax with create stats and update stats with partition where equals where you put the number of the partition. And that's it. All right, and in the next one of our series, we're going to go over the parallel select into statement developed for SQL 2014.